right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for our matchup of the night. We have Distortion taking on Kings in the Rival League. A great playoff matchup here in this one. I'm excited to be joined by my main man, Skis is here. What's going on, Skies?
I'm doing just fine. I've been chilling today, but I thought your main man was Eminem. What happened to that?
You're my second main man. Don't tell Eminem. We got it on the
Second, come on, dude.
we got it. It's a close race. It's a close race. All right, I'll give it to you there. But yeah, I mean, this should be a good matchup here. I gotta give a quick shout out to Blazin' Biscuit for the tier 1 gifted sub. Much appreciated. This man's always going in with the gifted subs. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. But just saw a banger matchup before Origin taking down Aurora to keep their playoff hopes alive. They really needed that win. They're gonna move to 7-8. Aurora drops to 8-7. So now Origin only one game back from second in the Prospect League. So that was a crazy game. But Skies, we've got another really good one here. Distortion and Kings, both 7-7. Only one game back of Hydra, who's sitting at 8-6 for the conference lead, and they're only 2 games ahead of Vortex at this moment. So this is gonna be a good matchup.
And I was just about to bring that up that they're both 7-7. So this is a huge game for both teams here in this one, and this one could likely decide which team's gonna have a higher seeding in the playoffs, or even if they will make the playoffs, depending on if Vortex can make a quick comeback on the haul up from the recent loss. But yeah, this one's definitely a big game for both teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be crucial. Looking at the strength of schedule between these two teams going forward, the Kings, they're gonna have to take on Knights and Blaze, 2 really high quality teams in the Eastern Conference. They also have to play Vortex again, so Vortex could very well be in the running if Kings were to lose this match. Vortex also has to play Distortion one more time. But Distortion's schedule is considerably just a little bit weaker there. They've got Lightspeed and Hydra there, so they still have the conference leader to face off against. That's the last game of the season for Distortion. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. It looks like it could be an even tougher schedule going forward for Kings. So Skies, I mean, as much as I don't want to call this a must win, I feel like if Kings lose this matchup, and Vortex can keep winning, they might just be out of the playoffs.
Yeah, no, this one, I don't know. It could go either way for me, but both teams have a somewhat difficult schedule, as you were saying, coming up. But I definitely say that Distortion has the upper hand on this one. So Kings really need to look for this one. If they can pull it out, it'll be huge for their seeding in the playoffs. And I mean, I know that it would make Cajun very happy. So, but see if they can pull it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And like you said, just to go in on how crucial this game is, Hydra tonight, they have a magic number of 2. They're the conference lead in the Rival League West. If they win and Vortex loses, Hydra will clinch a playoff spot. And then if whoever wins between this matchup and if Vortex loses again, they'll have a magic number of 1. So if one of these teams, whoever wins, and if Vortex loses, they pretty much essentially guarantee themselves a playoff spot. So it's gonna be a crucial matchup here. And as we're waiting on the last couple players to join, Skies, I know we got the poll up in the chat for you guys to vote on, but I want to hear your prediction here. Who do you got in this one? Do you got Distortion? Do you got Kings? What's the series score? Who are you taking in this one?
I'm gonna have to go with Kings on this one. I hear a lot of hype surrounding them, but that's mainly because I talk to a lot of people who are from OrgB. But with Munson, everybody knows that Munson was the management pick. I know that he's a solid player. I also know Doodle. I really like Doodle. I've played with him in a few other Discords before, and he's a solid player when you match him up with some solid players, or even if he's playing against some good competition, then he can step up to that level, and he can really come out swinging. So this one could really go either way, but I'm gonna go Kings 3-1.
All right, so Sky's going Kings 3-1. Make sure you guys get your predictions in, vote on that poll, and let us know in chat who you guys are taking. Always curious to see who you guys pick, but we're going to get things going here. Distortion out here in the blue, Kings out here in the orange, and actually something you talked about, you mentioned Doodle here. Yeah, we're missing Munson Crazy Man, who was the management selection for the All-Star game. They do have Cajun and they do have Wolfie, who have been two solid players on that end. And then also on the other end, we see Teskimo, Hunch, and Vokes. And I know Sicky has been in for Vokes recently, so it looks like these two teams could be missing two high-caliber players, but Doodle, immediate impact with the first goal.
Yeah, that was just a solid recognition from Wolfie, seeing that Doodle was cheating on mid, and he just flips it over to him. Hunch not able to get there in time. Doodle just punches it in top right. Great placement from him. But a heads-up play coming out from Wolfie on that pass.
Oh, yeah, that was a great pass. And, yeah, kind of like you said, you talked about Doodle, and, you know, he's already making an impact. As this net's wide open, Vokes, he can't hit it in. No power, just an open net miss. And, you know, in a game this crucial, Skies, that's going to be one that you need to hit right there.
Oh, yeah, that was a great open net. I mean, even if he would have missed it right, he had his teammate there waiting for the pass in case of anything went wrong. But I'm sure out of all the options that he would have seen coming, that was one that he wasn't predicting. Just the unfortunate wheel touch. Not much you can do about that one, but he's definitely kicking himself after that one.
Yeah, definitely so. As now Kings are going to hold on to their 1-goal lead here in game number 1. Hunch trying to get the offense back on for Distortion as Vokes just going to send that one across. Wolfie waiting on it over the top of Teskimo. Hunch into the corner looking for the follow here. Going to get it by one. What, third defender, Doodle, just perfectly just waiting for that one. It's Teskimo. Now just trying to get back on the offense, but Kings, they're right back at it themselves. Good touch there. Able to keep it at the side. It's Teskimo now. Blocking this one up. Doodle, he's looking for it. Off the backboard. Does he have another? No. Great clear comes out from Distortion. Cajun, he was just waiting there. Kings with this sustained offense as Doodle's trying to get the touch and he's going to get it. Oh my goodness, Doodle.
I'm not sure what happened. If it was just a wheel touch and it didn't move, I really couldn't tell. But okay, he gets a little bit of height on it. But yeah, that was a solid spot. It was kind of weird the way he came in at that one. I think if he was cheating midfield, it would have been much better. But I mean, it did the trick, so I'm not gonna complain. But Doodle putting up Kings 2-0 in this one.
Oh, and yeah, he's just been going in so far. I mean, that's always interesting to see. I'm pretty sure throughout the season, I don't know too much about the Kings roster, but I know what we've seen from them before. And usually Munson's in there, and I haven't seen much from Doodle all season. So, but I know you said he's a solid player. It's good to see that immediate impact from him.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite players in Rival League because, like I said, there was one try that he just came in and he kind of just destroyed everything. As he chokes a little bit of an open net miss, but he'll just come back from that one. But yeah, he was in there was a lobby full of 1700s and he blended in perfectly. And I was surprised 'cause I'd never seen him play before. He just played so well and destroyed everybody. So I definitely know that he can compete. And that's gonna be what he's here for.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far and helped put the Kings up 2-0. Both of those Kings goals here. So now we're just under 2 minutes here in our matchup of the night. So this ball's out in the midfield. Distortion gonna have to look for the offense here. Vokes blocks it up there. Hunch gonna get to it, but a little bit awkward as he gets demoed. Demo return from Teskimo as Vokes sends this one up high. But Doodle just gonna put that one in the corner. Vokes now trying to get it going, but Hunch gonna have to bail him out. Punch to the ceiling, looking for the shot there. Pass across, but it's denied away. This one's going out. Distortion's got to be careful here. As Doodle, the net is wide open if he can turn this angle. He hits it off the backboard. The miss comes out for Wolfie. And another open net miss. At this time on the Kings side.
Yeah, that was just such a blunder coming out from the Kings. But it's not detrimental considering that they're up 2-0. So they just need to hold up on their defense and try to hit their open nets. It'll really help them out if they could do that. Because you never know. This, as we all know, Rocket League is a two-sided game. So I mean, anything could happen at this point.
That's true. You never know. as we see Distortion trying to get back on it. They need a score here, and Teskimo is going to find the answer there, bringing them within one.
That was just a great shot from Teskimo, popping it right up to himself and able to beat out both defenders and put it on. He recognized that he had enough boost and he was beating everybody to that ball, so it's just a great play coming out from Teskimo, taking it right over the top.
Teskimo able to put that one in, looking for another one here. So there's only 40 seconds remaining. Distortion gonna have to find an answer. As Vokes looking to stay with that one, but he can't. This one's up. Got to be dangerous there. As that one's blocked out and almost just went in somehow. That would have been insane there, but it's not going to go. As final 30 seconds here in game number 1. This ball's up in the midfield. Distortion trying to get to it, but Cajun going to find the clear. Punch on the catch. It's awkward for him. He's looking for the pass, but can't get it out to Vokes. As Doodle's going to pop this one up. Ball up high. Wolfie trying to get to it. A miss comes out. Cajun looking for the shot. Going to go straight down, and it's going to go in. Cajun with the goal, and the Kings with a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that's great recognition from Cajun, realizing that there's only one man back, and he's sitting up just a little close, too awkward, so all you have to do there is just put it right over the top, which he does. Perfect Bardowski, and that's most likely going to do it. Kings up 3-1, not much Distortion can do, but try to get some quick offense.
Yeah, final seconds ticking away here, and as this ball pops up in the air, that is going to do it for game number 1. The Kings coming out there and taking this victory off the back of Doodle there. 2 goals coming out from him. Cajun adding 1 assist from everybody on the Kings roster there. And great performance. Great performance from them. But, you know, Distortion had their opportunities. I go back to that open net miss. You know, if they hit that one open net from Vokes, you know, this is a completely different game here, Skies, and you know maybe they're not panicking at the very end trying to get a last-second goal.
Yeah, no, that open net miss was huge. It would have kept them into this game and possibly boosted them just a little bit to realize that they were still in this game. But I mean, not much you can do about it now, but just try to come back in the next one.
Yeah, and this guys, how would you come back in this next one if you're Distortion here? I mean, you were able to get a goal there off a great dribble from Teskimo. You know, how do you think that they're going to be able to come back and find an answer in game 2?
Well, what I've noticed so far is that Doodle he pushes up by himself half the time. So when he's caught up by himself, all you have to do is strip the ball and then leaves 2 back. And then once you get that pressure going, keep midfield control, because it seemed like Kings had that the whole time. Like I saw they were grabbing mid boost and turning at the right times, cutting each other when they needed to, and their rotations just looked really solid. So Distortion really needs to keep that in mind, possibly go for a few demos to upset that, and just hit your open nets and stay more consistent.
All right, definitely some good advice there, and we'll have to see if Distortion takes any of it to heart as they're down 0-1 in this series. It's a crucial Western Conference matchup between the 2 and 3 seed currently, but it may not be that way for long, as the Western Conference is extremely close here in the final 2 weeks. As there's a shot towards net, Hunch just barely able to get to it. This ball's still out in the midfield. Doodle by 1. Gonna pop that one up. Wolfie off the backboard looking for the double tap. Gonna hit it off the backboard one more. But Distortion gonna pop it up high. But again, Kings, a lot of pressure here early, just like they did in game number 1.
And you can see that, cause, like I said, Doodle was just cheating up. Like, he plays so offensively. Like he grabs boost and he cheats up. He watches for his team to pass it out, like you saw earlier in the first game, when the pass out from Wolfie came out to Doodle. He was just sitting in the perfect spot. He plays so aggro and he stays up fully committed and just runs the offense for his team, and that's something to take in mind. So if you can get Doodle out of the play, there's not too much offense that they're gonna have going for them. So I think if you're Distortion, you really need to try to mess with Doodle a little bit and try to get him out of the play.
Yeah, I think like you talked about, those demos could be a good way to get him out of the play. So maybe Distortion can try to implement some of those, as the Kings are still back on the pressure. Doodles, he's trying to get to it, but Hunch, he can't find the touch as this one goes up. Cajun, he barely makes contact. Wolfie towards the corner. Hunch bumped out of the way. Teskimo trying to get to it. He's dead now as the Kings are back on offense. Doodle off the backboard with Vokes. Able to find that touch. It's Wolfie. Tried to block it in the midfield. Doodle up for it. Might be looking to stay with it here as the net is just open. I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like a Distortion member just drove away and it left an open net.
Yeah, just miscommunication. Hunch thought that he had a man back, and Doodle realizing that there was only one there, he just went for the hook shot and then put it up top in. Not much folks could do about that, but I guess just try to communicate better.
Yeah, tough miscommunication, like you said. As a fake comes out, the shot is gonna go in. Wolfie with another one, and Kings with only a couple seconds in a row, back-to-back goals.
Yeah, Doodle's presence, it's just, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, you see him up, like, you know that you got to recognize that he's a solid player, so he could definitely hit those, or like he just did go for the fake. So there's not much that they could have gone for, but to see Hunch easily come back with a quick one, like I was saying, Distortion, like there's not much you can do about Doodle. You can try to read him, but there's just so many options that he can do with his kind of play style. I mean, you just have to try to take him out the play, like I said before, and try to get some quick offense, keep the midfield pressure, and try to get some quick goals on.
Yeah, and a quick goal there from Hunch, a nice one, and that could be a key if they can keep those kickoffs up. Maybe find an answer for Doodle. This one down in the midfield. Wolfie, a mistouch there, left the net open, but the follow couldn't come in from Teskimo. But Distortion still only down by one. Teskimo over the top of one. Vokes to the corner. Teskimo trying to wait for it, but Wolfie gonna beat him to it. Has now Hunch taking it up, trying to center it towards the middle there. Awkward touch from Cajun as Vokes back on the offense. Cajun into the corner, looking to stay with this one. Not much boost to work with. Gonna go for the 50. Still not much boost, but he's just gonna 50 it right through the middle. Cajun just taking out the whole team and scoring the goal.
I'm not sure if he was quite going for the 50. It looked like he was just gonna go for the flick, but he didn't have enough boost to catch up to it. But regardless, he's gonna get the goal. That double 50 on the team, and it's not looking too good for Distortion right now. Kings are just kind of walking the ball over and then just throwing it in the net. Not much. It looks like it's effortless. Another quick passing play comes out. The double commit came up, but they still hit the shot and managed to score. So, I mean, you have to figure out a way to slow the Kings down. At this point, the series just looks like it's going to be over.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we talked about how this could be a must-win for the Kings, and, you know, they're showing up like it's a must-win at this point. We talked about how Distortion had an easier schedule than the Kings. As we see another shot trying to come up from Distortion, it's not going to go. But the Kings, I think they realize that this is a crucial game for them. Could pretty much clinch a playoff spot. They can win and have a Vortex loss, so they're coming out strong here. But, you know, Distortion, they're just looking a little bit off. But I mean, I don't know how much of it is Distortion looking off as it is the Kings just looking so good right now.
I haven't seen, or I haven't heard much about Doodle in this because I've been asking around to see what people think about him in the past, and they don't think much of him. But I know that he's a threat he's a force to be reckoned with, and he's a threat when he's out here. So there's not much you just have to try to take him out the play, like I've been saying this whole time. Like Distortion, they've been using their same play style, and it hasn't really been working. They just need to try to figure out a way to stop their offense, because when their Kings are on defense, they kind of suffer a little bit, and they just look lost. But they haven't had too much pressure because the Kings have just been keeping the midfield control. So, and that's just something to look for Distortion.
Would be an opportunity here, but Cajun able to keep it on the offense now. As Vokes sending it back. Only final 30 seconds here, and Doodle, he's hitting them all. He's hitting them all, guys, even on his own net.
I'm not sure if it was just a showboat or what, but he's putting his mechanics out on display in this match, just showing that he's a presence here, and I'm not sure what's going through his head, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure either, as he just bangs that one in his own net. He looked like he was freestyle into it too, so not really sure. That's going to give Distortion at least a chance here in the final 20 seconds, as this one's heading back. Could be dangerous if they can get in the midfield. Teskimo can't find the touch. Still there, but Cajun with the great block, and that might just do it there. As the final seconds are ticking away, Distortion maybe you can get one more here, but Cajun with the cutoff, they're going to have to score it immediately. not going to be able to, as this one's knocked up high. So despite the own goal, the Kings are still going to win. And another great performance from them. I mean, you talked about it, Doodle. He's just carrying the way. Scored 3 goals in this game, 2 for his own team, 1 for the other team. But but I mean, he was just. I mean, I think he just saw the ball and he was just like, hey, might as well go for it.
Right? I mean, if you get an opportunity like that, like I mean, you saw him hit it on the opponent's net, pretty much the same shot right beforehand, and he's just showing that he can hit those type of shots, and then as he hits it on his own. But yeah, Kings are just on a roll right now. There's not much you can do to stop them at this point.
Yeah, and I mean now we're at the crucial point in the series here where I mean Distortion they're in a tough boat right now. Kings up 2-0 in the series into game 3, and Distortion's gonna have to try to pull out this reverse sweep. I mean with the way the Kings are playing though, it seems like it's gonna be an uphill climb here in this one, and I think as we talked about, they're gonna have to take out Doodle as Vogue, or I think that was Vogue just blocked that one away. But we'll have to see. I mean, we've touched on it the whole time. I don't know how much we can really say much more about just taking Doodle out, but he just seems like the man for the Kings right now. As we see a shot there, Doodle again. There he is. Of course, he's gonna make the save, but he's just always there, and we keep talking about him, but that's just because he keeps showing up and he keeps performing so well in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely showing his worth in this one, and I mean once they get on offense you can't really do much about it, just hope for a big clear like we just saw from Hydra, and then that just offsets them. But they haven't really been getting these big clears, and when they try to keep it close to them, Kings just use that. Close one from Hunch goes right off the post. Like those shots, you got to be hitting them if you want to come back in this series and attempt the reverse sweep.
Yeah, we saw a couple of them earlier in the series as well, where they, had opportunities on the net, just couldn't get them in. So they're gonna have to start capitalizing. As Punch couldn't find the net there. It was a tough shot, but still, it's one that he'll tell you he should hit. As this one's going back, Distortion panicking on the back, and Cajun is gonna make them pay. And the Kings started out again, 1-0.
It all started out with an unfortunate 50, and then 2 of Distortion's players pushed up just a little too far there on the same rotation actually, and then I mean they just left it open for Cajun to take home, and he says thank you for that. And yeah, not much. I mean Distortion, they're just falling apart on defense right now.
This Doodle looking for that one, couldn't find it. This one's still dangerous here for the Kings. It's popped up high. Vogue's gonna put it in the corner. But something we kind of touched on earlier, Skies, is that both these teams are missing a starter, a normal starter here. The Kings, we talked about Doodle all match here, how he filled in for Munson, who was an all-star this season. But on the other end, Teskimo, he's normally not the main starter. I know of recently. That's usually Siki, who was another all-star caliber player, and he's not here in this one. How much do you think that could be affecting their chemistry?
Well, just knowing that both boys.
Oh my goodness, Doodle, stop it!
He's just always there. Like this one, he's pushed up and he's just anticipating the play. He just pre-jumped him, and I mean you can't stop him at this point. I mean he's just messing around and he's getting goals like it's nothing. But yeah, like you were saying, both teams missing a starter. I mean, having this looks like we lost Vokes. We lose Vokes.
Looks like we may have lost Vokes. That is unfortunate. There's still some time remaining. If they need to call for a reset, they can do it. But that's only if he's lagging out here, as he lost connection. Are they going to call for the reset here? Might see the first one. There's nothing from him though. It looks like they might just play on. I mean, I don't know if they know the rule, but they could. I mean, this might be a good time to call it, Skies. I mean, losing your third player here down in this series, a reset could be good here, but it doesn't look like they're going to say anything about it. As Teskimo is just gonna put in his own net, I guess.
I mean, even as an own goal, it's still an impressive angle. But it's just unfortunate. That's just how the series has been going. But I guess they just don't recognize that rule is put in place, that they can call for a reset. I guess we'll just play this one out.
I mean, maybe at this point, maybe they're just feeling that this series, it could just be over. I mean, I don't know if they're waving the white flag or what, but it was still definitely possible with with Vokes in there with the final 2 minutes. I mean, it's not like they were down by 5 goals. They're only down 2 before Vokes lost connection. So, I mean, they still definitely had a chance. As you see, Hunch, he's gonna put one in. Okay, wait a minute here.
They could be coming back. You never know. I mean, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but whenever I'm stuck in a 2v3, even if I'm on the 3 side, just the way that because the game, it just slows down so much and it throws off my rotations personally whenever I play in a 2v3, and then just from there on out, my rotations are just really bad. So this could actually upset the King's rotation, so you can't really count them out. Can't count out Distortion just yet, but.
Yeah, I know also that Teskimo and Hunch, they have a lot of chemistry. They've known each other for years, and they've got the chemistry. So if anybody can do it, I think these two could be the ones. But it's gonna be tough with how great the Kings been playing. But like you said, maybe it'll disrupt them a little bit. As you see a miss come out, it's just going towards the net. Teskimo has to get to it. This ball's still in the corner. Shot opportunity. Hunch gonna get to it. Final 60 seconds here in Game 3. The Kings holding on. This ball's up in the corner. Cajun trying to get to it. Hunch by 1, looking to get it by 2. He does. It's going. Is it just going to go in the net? Oh my goodness, it is. Hunch puts it in. And wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys.
See, this is what I'm saying, because when you're in a 2v3, you think, oh yeah, there's no way that they're going to come back in this. Like, game's over. So then everybody just overcommits. But it just takes one play, and that's it. Like, Hunch just had a fast break. He 50'd one of them, got it by the other, and I mean, yeah, you can't count out Distortion just yet.
You cannot. As the final 40 seconds here, could they bring it back in the 2v3? We'll have to see as this ball sent down. Cajun has a net to shoot at. He's going to put it in, and that might just do it.
Yeah, that's the other side of things where you just don't have a third back and when you're on the 2 team. But I mean, they gave it their all, so I'll give them that. They got pretty close, actually, scoring 2 goals. They did better, actually, on just the 2 of them, I'd say.
Yeah, no, they definitely did, able to put in 2 goals there. But still, the deficit might just be a little too much to overcome, as Doodle is just going to take some time and just going to flick it in. Why not? Why not just put one more? As Vokes, he's finally back. I'm still confused as to why there was no restart called by them. I mean, Vokes is back now, so it's not like he was gone for good.
Oh yeah, who knows? They just don't know the rule. Like, we've been saying this before. Actually, you just know the rules. I mean, it'll help you in the long run. But I mean, not much they can do now. It won't help them to call for a restart.
Yeah, this game is pretty much over here as this ball's pinched down the field. Doodle maybe going for one more redirect, looking for the pass. Teskimo just gonna put it in, but at that point, I mean, now he's just showing off.
Gives him the quick, nice shot. But yeah, that'll do it. Kings gonna come out with the sweep. They did better than my prediction. Not just a 3-1, a sweep, clean sweep. Yeah, Doodle definitely stepped up after missing their starter, Crazy Munson, man. But I wasn't expecting that kind of domination from the Kings so early.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree with you there. It seemed like, I mean, I know that Distortion is a solid team, and they just didn't really show up as much as they usually do, and whether that be attributed to Sicky not showing up or whether it be the Kings just playing really solid, which they definitely did. I'm not really sure, but it's more than definitely going to spice things up in the West, as now the Kings, they're going to move to 8-7. Only a half game back of Hydra for the Western Conference lead. Distortion, they're going to fall to 7-8. So they're going to keep their eyes on the Vortex game later tonight to see if things are really going to heat up in the West. But yeah, crazy game there. Not quite what we expected, but still a great performance overall from the Kings. And yeah, I think we're going to head to a break here in just a second. But we're going to be coming back for our final match of the night. We got another good one coming your way. Another match with playoff implications as we're winding it down. Only 3 matches remaining for the Titan League. We got Inferno versus Nebula coming up next. Nebula can clinch a playoff spot with a win, and Inferno needs a win to stay alive. So it's really going to be an intense matchup. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.